The movie kicks off with a woman tirelessly nursing her ailing husband. His illness keeps her confined to their home, day in and day out. Each day her prayers ascend, a desperate plea for a miracle to end their suffering, but his agony has no clear diagnosis, no physical cause, leaving him silent, still, and utterly unresponsive. The doctor said her husband should have recovered in about 12 or 13 days, but nope, it's 16 days since the accident and he's still showing zero improvement. And with 2 little girls, just 3 and 5, she's utterly alone in her struggle. The bitter reality hits one night when her hungry girls ask for food with an empty pantry. She can only tuck them into bed. With her husband worsening, she rushes to the pharmacy for his serum, only to find their mounting debt now bars even the most essential medicine, leaving her helpless. Left helpless, she retreats home, despair twisting as she concocts a desperate sugar water substitute for the vital serum they no longer possess. With that desperate remedy useless, she turns to her aunt, only to discover her aunt vanished long ago, leaving behind a trail colder than a winter storm. Defeated, she confided in her husband about the dead end. Her confession turned bitter as she lashed out, accusing his brother and mother of abandoning them and creating this mess. This devastating mess stemmed from her husband being shot after defending his mother's honor. Whispers of him having fought the Taliban, though, were entirely untrue. But these fabricated claims had instead ensnared him, leaving him utterly trapped in a hopeless, inescapable bind. The very next day, a defiant hope his children, while the woman was out, meticulously began extracting the serum trapping him. Luckily, their mother returned, putting a swift end to their efforts. Soon, a woman named Mala shows up for a prayer. But the wife's like, nope, can't join, am on my period. Turns out, their tradition has a strict rule. Menstruating women aren't allowed to take part in these religious rituals. Soon, an air raid shatters their fragile peace. The entire neighborhood, including the family, scrambles desperately for the underground shelter. Hours tick by in the cramped space. When safety finally beckons, she races home, relieved to find her husband unharmed. But just as a fragile sense of calm descends, the ominous crack of gunfire rips through the air again. She scrambles back inside. As soldiers storm in, they quickly check her husband, sparing him the moment they learn he is Muslim. Instead, they simply take his watch and ring. Returning home, his wife finds the house ransacked, his watch and ring stolen. But the darkest truth quickly surfaces. In her own yard, she finds her neighbors, 2 men and a young girl savagely murdered. The girl's mother is utterly broken, her mind shattered. Shattered, she realizes they can't stay, leading her daughters back to her aunt's now empty, forgotten home. Upon arrival, a stranger coldly blocks their way, offering no answers or shelter. With nowhere else to turn, the woman just parks it on the stairs, refusing to budge until the old woman finally spills the tea on her aunt's new address. She tracks down her aunt, spilling every secret. Her aunt, in turn, reveals a life steeped in unimaginable suffering, a pain beyond the girl's comprehension. That excruciating burden she'd killed her abusive stepfather to protect her mother and sisters. Now she's shacked up in a hotel, trying to dodge all the judgy eyes. Yet her conscience won't let her ghost him, drawing her back home. Back home, she unloads everything, a full confession to cleanse her heavy conscience. For a decade, she confesses, there hasn't been a single good day, not even their wedding day was a vibe. Turns out, he was off fighting, so she had to say I do to a framed photo. So, with her hubby by photo only off to war, she spent the first 3 years of marriage suffering under his family's charming hospitality. Even her private bathroom moments became a nightmare thanks to the brothers-in-law. Honestly, she admits, she has no clue why she's even sharing this nightmare. But then she spills her childhood trauma anyway. Turns out, Dad loved his quails more than his own kids. His obsession escalated to betting on quails, until the unthinkable he gambled his eldest daughter. Losing the bet, her 12-year-old sister was forced to marry a 40-year-old man. Fearing her own fate, she released the caged quails, tragically delivering them to a hungry cat. Now, recounting these painful memories to her husband, she grapples with the truth he never truly felt like her husband. Resignation settling in, she removes the serum from his mouth and walks out the door. Later, she confesses all to her aunt. Her aunt reveals the truth. He is her patient stone. With this truth, her urge to unburden all her suffering onto him suddenly clicks. Recognizing the solace in their newfound conversation, she rushes home, tenderly washing and kissing him after a long, silent decade. This new connection deepened her words. Once fueled by pain, now consistently flowed as a powerful source of healing. However, this newfound tranquility was soon interrupted by Ma commencing another prayer. Our girl, still not vibing, reminds him again that her period means she's totally out. But as the war intensifies, she quickly clocks the city's overflowing soldiers. Fearing for his safety, she hides her beloved husband in a secret refuge. Next thing you know, some soldiers rock up to her house and immediately start grilling her about her husband, her job, and who she's living with. Desperate for them to leave, she quickly lies, claiming to be a widow and that her house is her workplace, subtly implying a more illicit profession. They spare her body, yet a soldier's contemptuous spit stains her face as they finally depart. That night, she finds solace with her husband, sharing even more haunting memories. However, dawn brings a chilling sound. Fearing the soldier's return, she swiftly hides her husband away. Yet, the sound reveals not the troop, but a single young soldier, hauntingly familiar from yesterday's encounter with his commander. Returning alone, he chillingly offers payment before a brutal assault. Powerless, she yields. Afterward, he leaves quickly. Shaken, she retreats to the bathroom, washing the moment away. Yet, practical necessity soon took hold. She found the soldier's money, a vital lifeline for her family's serum and food. Their silent exchange resumed the very next day. He paid again, repeating his cruel, exploitative pattern. Believing her husband's completely out cold, she starts spilling all the tea about the soldier, even straight up telling him the young guy performs way better than he ever did. But then, the weight of her confessions hits, engulfing her in overwhelming shame. Desperate for absolution, she clutches the Quran, her whispered pleas for forgiveness. But the next dawn brought a quiet miracle. Their broken door now stood perfectly repaired. Her heart knew the quiet soldier had worked through the night. Soon after, he returned, resolute, insisting on a private moment within her home. As he shed his shirt, she saw a body etched with cigarette burns and the brutal scars of war. Those scars spoke of brutal military academy abuse. The revelation compelled her to later seek counsel from her aunt. Upon her return, she discovers a profound gift from the soldier: fresh fruit and a golden necklace, a silent, tender gesture. Her face lights up. The forgotten woman within awakens, finding a rare and profound peace. She shares her truth with him, her full, painful past. She reveals a devastating truth. He was sterile, and the children he adored were not his own. Suddenly, his calm facade finally cracks. Her words ignite a furious awakening, as if from a dark slumber. He erupts, seizing her throat in a violent, desperate rage. Yet in that desperate struggle, she finds a knife, ending his life. As his life drains, a young soldier enters, stumbling upon the brutal aftermath. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next video.